Alright, what is up guys? Welcome to Mind Culture. This is the first video on this channel, and I wanted to start it off right. I don't need to do all these introductions or whatever. I'm just going to get right into it. Today, we're going to be discussing my top 5 most anticipated superhero films of 2018. And, with this list, there's a lot of superhero movies coming out this year. There's tons, anywhere from, you know, live action to animated to DC and Marvel and some others. There's a bunch coming out this year. Pixar, there's a bunch, and I'm excited for almost all of them. There's only one or two I'm just like whatever, but I'm very excited for a lot of these movies. And I wanted to start this off right. So by the first video of the channel, it's going to be top 5 most anticipated films, superhero films. Coming at number 5, something that releases in December, on December 21st, 2018, Aquaman. Aquaman. I almost didn't put this on my list. I honestly didn't. But then I had to think about, we haven't seen this before. We haven't really gotten to see, Aquaman at the level it's at right now. So I'm very excited for that, and I think it's going to be sweet. I'm very excited for that. He's a beast. We saw him in Justice League, and he can do damage. We didn't see all that much in Justice League because, it's multiple characters and multiple superheroes, with the Flash and Cyborg and Wonder Woman and Batman and Superman, So we didn't see him that much, but I'm very excited for what we're going to see in this upcoming December. I think, it's going to be really cool to see Atlantis, too. I don't think, we haven't really gotten to see Atlantis, especially not on this big of a, at this big of a level. I think this movie's going to be very big. And I think also one thing, DC, they've done a lot of, they've done one-offs the past couple years with Wonder Woman, pretty much the only one. But that was a huge success, and that was one of the, the biggest movies of 2017. And I think that, honestly, I think Aquaman has the potential to do the same. I don't think it'll be as big as far as, success goes with the money. But I do think that it could do the same thing as far as being, what it is. And I'm very excited for Aquaman. And also, it's something new. I'm just excited to see that. So, that's number 5, Aquaman. Coming in at number 4, we got The Incredibles 2. Dun 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 dun. I think that's the right one. I hope so. If not, then that's awkward. But The Incredibles 2, I'm a big fan of The Incredibles 1. When I was, it was 2004 when it came out, the first one. I want to say I was about 3-ish, so I was young. But that's one of those movies that my parents let me watch at a young age, and I loved it. I thought I was flat. No, excuse me. I feel like I was Flash. Sprinting. It's awesome. I love that movie. I love everything that it is. I still think to this day it's the best Fantastic Four movie we've ever seen, and that's probably gonna hold up. I love that movie. I think it's just an excellent movie and everything it is. The superhero. Superheroes, all of them, and then the villain. Don't blank on his name. I don't know why. What's his name? Man, I don't know. I'm forgetting. My bad. Excuse me. But I'm excited for that. That comes out June 15th, 2018. So I'm excited for that. I think that's a perfect position for it. And that's one of that's gonna be a huge movie. We haven't seen this in so long. It's been such a build up. And I'm gonna build up for it. It's been such a wait. We all always been waiting. We thought we were gonna see it in 2005. Then we thought we were gonna see it in a couple years back. But no, it just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back until now. And after seeing that teaser trailer, I'm very, very, very excited for it. And I think, honestly, I don't think it's to be one of those movies that, it takes forever to make the sequel, and it turns out to be a letdown and not that good. I honestly do think it's going to live up to the first one. It's taking place directly after the first one. It's a continuation. So I'm very intrigued and excited to see that. And I do think it will be very good. And, it's just been a long time since we've seen The Incredibles. And, so it's going to be very interesting to see him back on the big screen. And I'm very excited, and I can't wait to see that movie. Coming in at number 3. Oh my goodness. This movie, honestly, If it wasn't for the other two movies that are coming out this year, 100% honestly think this movie would be my #1 most anticipated film, Venom. So let me explain. Venom, whenever I first heard it coming out, I was not excited for this. I heard, when it first came out, actually, let me take that back. Whenever I first saw it was coming out, I was like, oh snap, they're making a Venom movie, let's get it. And then I found out that, it's going to be in a Sony Spider-Verse without Spider-Man. How are you going to tell me you're going to make a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man? So that instantly got me frustrated, and I just kind of stopped paying attention to anything about that movie. The only thing I saw that excited me about it was that Tom Hardy was in that movie. And I love Tom Hardy. Ever since, let me grab it actually, 2011 Warrior, I fell in love with Tom Hardy. And then we saw him in The Dark Knight Rises. And yeah, The Dark Knight Rises wasn't necessarily the best Batman movie at all. But I do think Tom Hardy had a very strong role. And I think he is a great actor. And I've loved seeing him, in all the roles he's done. With Dunkirk this past year, 2017, I think, he did great. So I'm very excited to see Venom. I think now this is where it gets interesting. Like I was saying, I wasn't excited for the film. Now, why am I excited for it now? Because there's been a lot of speculation recently, about it being in the MCU and about being connected to MCU. And there's been some talks about one of the guys from, I'm forgetting his name, Collider Videos. If you guys haven't checked out the channel, check out their channel. One of them has, talked to some birdies, as he referred to it, and they let him know that there's some people working on the set of Venom, and they said, and just a heads up, this isn't all, none of this is proven, so it's all speculation, but I do believe it, that Tom Holland, in fact, is actually on set. He's been on set for 2 days already, and that actually all went down 2 days ago whenever all this news dropped. So I honestly do believe that. I mean, I don't know how you're going to make a Venom movie without Spider-Man, and, Sony does have the rights to Spider-Man, so I could definitely see them, using Tom Holland in that situation in the movie. And no, definitely, this is a Venom movie, so we're not going to see Tom Holland throughout the movie at all. I think he's going to be in a very little amounts, but I do think he'll have at least 1 or 2 scenes in the movie, and, just to connect it. I think he's going to be the connector piece between the MCU and the Spider-Verse, and I think, we're not going to see an Iron Man or Captain America in this movie, but I do think that, this Venom movie is going to be an MCU, but obviously it'll be like its own separate thing, that the only connecting piece will be Spider-Man. And, how I see it going down as an Infinity War, I think what's going to happen is, we saw a picture like a year ago, it was Star-Lord, what's his name? No, I'm forgetting the actor's name. Him, Robert Downey Jr., and Tom Holland on the set of this, looked like an alien terrain planet. And I actually believe, and I actually heard this, other people talk about this too, that that planet is actually where Tom Holland, Spider-Man, he finds the, the symbiote stuff, and he takes it back, because he's a nerdy kid, he wants to do experiments on it, and then that's how the Venom movie comes into place, and it comes from Peter Parker, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and it's going to be Venom, and I'm so excited for Tom Hardy, because in case you guys haven't noticed, Tom Hardy is a beast. He's a beast. So I think I'm excited for this film, guys. I really do think they have a huge cast. The director's good. I think this is going to be a good movie. It comes out October 5th. I think, if it's not an MCU, I will be disappointed. But I do think it's going to be an MCU, so at the same point in time, I'm not. So I'm very, very excited for this movie, and I can't wait to see what it's going to bring to the table. Because it could be really good, and I think it's going to be hard to make it without Spider-Man. I really do, not being in it that much. But I believe they can make it happen. I really do. And I think if it is connected to MCU, that's going to make it so much better. And that means in potential movies, in the next Spider-Man movie, we could even see Tom Hardy going against Tom Holland as Venom. And that'd be crazy. So I'm very much excited for this movie. But there's none of this is confirmed yet. So it's going to be hard to tell whether or not it's in the MCU or not. But I do believe it is, and that's why I'm extremely excited for this, and I'm anticipating it at my #3 spot. Okay, guys, so coming in at #2, which arguably could also be a number one. Like I said, all top three of these movies, my top three on my list, could easily be number ones if it wasn't for this year, probably. So number two, Black Panther. Even though, um, even though it's my screensaver, and you're probably thinking, oh, that's gonna be number one. It's not, but I do like this picture a bunch. So that's why I put it as my my wallpaper. But Black Panther. Oh my gosh, Chadwick Boseman. He had, in my opinion, maybe an even better performance in Civil War than Tom Holland's Peter Parker did. And I'm a Spider-Man guy. Like, you can't tell, but right past there, right past where the screen cuts off, I have a Spider-Man picture up on my wall. I have a Spider-Man pillowcase over there behind you. And, I love Spider-Man. But I think that Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther absolutely took away Civil War. And that he kind of, swept it off his feet and, claimed that movie. And I thought he was excellent. And I'm so excited to see Wakanda and all that it is. We've never seen this in a live action film. I think this is going to be the biggest. I think it's going to be the Wonder Woman of 2018. What all that it stands for and all that it means. It's for many African Americans, this is a childhood dream of theirs. Seeing someone like them as a child. They're a child. Like as a child, a lot of them see the Black Panther as someone they can look up to, and even me. I'm not African American, as you can tell, but even me, I looked up to Black Panther as a kid. So I'm very excited, and I think this will do the same thing as Wonder Woman, as what Wonder Woman did for the females in this world and all that it stood for. And I think Black Panther is going to be amazing. Black Panther has been so impressive with what they've done as far as the cast. Michael B. Jordan, Chadwick Boseman, my man Caesar. I can't remember his name. Andy Serkis, excuse me. Andy Serkis, he's in there. We got everyone. Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out. Forrest Whitaker. So many actors. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited for that. From the trailers, we've seen two trailers really now. One of them was officially a trailer. The second one was was a TV spot at the college football championship, and I think it looks good. It looks really good. That comes out February 16th. Man, that's gonna be it's gonna be so good. I think it's gonna be very cool. I think it's gonna be awesome to see Michael B. Jordan as Eric Killmonger and what he's gonna do. I think he has the potential to really be a good villain for the MCU, because the MCU has a reputation of not having very recognizable villains. From the past, from Thor: The Dark World, Iron Man's, But I think this, I think honestly that with the MCU they do get a little bit mistreated for the villains. I do think some of the villains are pretty good, but obviously not as recognizable, and that's the reason why. But Eric Killmonger, I think he'll be great. I think he's gonna really deliver. But I think most importantly, Chadwick Boseman, I think he's gonna be a beast in this movie. He's really cool. He has a lot of things he has to do in this movie. He has to take up the mantle of being a king in Wakanda, Africa. His dad was killed in Civil War, and now even though he has the throne, he has to earn it. We're gonna see him go through the trials. We're gonna see that happen. We're gonna see many things take place, and he also is not to deal with being a superhero. He has to do all these things that he normally wouldn't have to do. So that is going to be very interesting to see. And also they have Coogler, okay. Ryan Coogler as the director. Ryan Coogler from Creed. And in case you didn't know, which you wouldn't, I love Creed. It's honestly, in my opinion, it's the best movie of 2015. I really do believe that. And we got Michael B. Jordan with it, and he's gonna be with Chadwick Boseman. And I think that honestly, Black Panther is going to be a phenomenal movie. And I think it's going to do everything that it's trying to do. And I haven't even seen it yet. I already know as soon as it comes out, I'm going to want to buy it on Blu-ray and get that 4K, get the 4K one. I've just been impressed by what it's been doing. Everything is shown. So, yeah, that's my number two, Black Panther. I don't want to rant too much on it, but it's just gonna be sweet, sweet to see that the most advanced country in the world. You know, it's gonna be awesome. Coming in at number 1. Avengers Infinity War. No, I'm just kidding. Paddington 2. No, I'm just kidding. Avengers Infinity War. Oh my goodness. You know, this is a movie we've been waiting on since 2012, I believe, with Avengers. And we saw Thanos in the after credit scene. And we all wondering, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't 100% sure who Thanos was. I wasn't. But then I saw him, I did my research, and I said, whoa, you know, this guy has some power. And with his Infinity Gauntlet, he could do some real damage. And now we're going to see him, finally. You know, it's been such a long wait. You know, this has been something that's been building up, though, since 2008. Let's remember that. I remember the first time I saw Iron Man 1. The very first time. As soon as the movie was over, I looked over to my dad, and I said, Dad, I want that for Christmas. And he said, okay. And you know what I got for Christmas? Iron Man 1. It's in my movie collection over there. So, you know, this is something that I've, you know, grown up with. And, you know, I started watching, and I was 7. I was 7 years old when all this, you know, the MCU started. And so, you know, it means so much for me as a fan to see it finally come to what it's been building up for. And we're going to see, you know, Spider-Man, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, you know, War Machine, Vision, Scarlet Witch. You know, we're going to, you know, everyone, Black Widow. There's so many characters. You know, I recently I looked up an article, and I'm talking about, it was actually Anthony Mackie, no, what's his name? Anthony Mackie, I think that's his name. I'm going blank on some names today, but Falcon. The actor said, you know, recently in an interview, he was talking about how big this movie's going to be, and how he said there's somewhere around, you know, 40 superheroes in one scene in particular that you see in the trailer. Well, the trailer, you see the scene, but you don't see all the superheroes. He said 40 superheroes, like 40 superheroes. So, this is going to be the biggest MCU film ever, and, you know, after watching that first trailer, I was blown away instantly. You know, I was just in awe. You know, it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be, you know, I think it's going to be the darkest MCU film we've had yet. You know, I think we're going to see one of the, you know, superheroes die, and it's pretty much, you know, between Tony Stark and, you know, Captain America. I don't think Tony Stark is going to die. I think it's going to be Steve Rogers. I really do. You know, but there is one case. There is one case I can see Tony Stark dying, and that'd be if let's say he was trying to protect Tom Holland, Spider-Man, or maybe Pepper Potts, and he was dedicated his life for them, and Thanos took him away and killed him. And so that's gonna be interesting. But I do ranting too much on that. I just get so excited. This is the first video on this channel, guys, so it's obviously gonna be, you know, all over the place. I'm sorry if it was crazy, but I'm just stating my opinions. You know, Mind Culture. Well, yeah, I'm gonna say this real quick. Mind Culture is the channel that I made as it's a way to, I want to enhance the culture, talk about cultural things, talk about different cultures, and, you know, and I'm gonna use literally the thoughts from my mind. So Mind Culture, that's the channel. But like I was saying, Avengers Infinity War, this movie has been the biggest build up that I've seen ever for a movie. I really have. I've never seen anything bigger than this. And, you know, I don't think Marvel really can go wrong with this film. I think they've done so much with Kevin Feige, you know, being the head of it all. They know what they're doing. You know, this is something they've been working on forever. You know, it's not like, I'm not trying to bash DC or anything. Justice League, they only had, you know, 4 or 5 movies, I believe, before that to get to Justice League. Marvel has had, at this point, 18 films before. So they really earned this film. So I'm very much excited for this. I think it's going to be great. I really do. And I think they're going to do everything that they wanted to do. So that's my #1 most anticipated film this year. It comes out May 4th. You'll see me in theaters. But yeah, guys, that's my top 5 most anticipated superhero movies of 2018. You'll be seeing more videos from me in the future. So stay tuned. And I'll see you guys next time.